Stop chasing. Look, it's Marcel, aka Honey Bunny Sunday, and I'm on a mission to make you some money. Listen, today I got a pretty deep video for you. All right. Now, today I want to talk to y'all about something that I'm sure that you have dealt with in your life journey, and I'm more than sure you've dealt with it in your trading journey, right? What I want to talk about today is self-sabotage, how it happens, where it comes from, how we can deal with it, what's underneath it, and how we can go ahead and make changes so that we're not repeating the same cycles over and over again. Okay, it's really important that you guys pay attention and understand this, right? Now, in my journey to trading, I had a lot of issues, a lot of personal issues as a human, as a man, and they were impacting my trading. They were causing me to do things and not do things, and I had no idea that this was taking place under the surface. I'm going to tell you something that people may not tell you when they're recruiting you into their their groups, or they're trying to sell you a course or something. I'm going to tell you something they're not going to tell you. You may not be ready to be successful. You may not be ready to have the success that you think that you want to have in this particular thing, just because of where you sit. And your journey in trading is not so much just you getting better at trading, it's in you mastering yourself, right? That journey is the journey that makes anything that you touch gold. You ever notice that some people, no matter what they decide to do, it just works? No matter what sector they're in, no matter what type of work they're doing in the moment, it just works. And then there's some people that just seem to go from thing to thing and can never really get anything going. Never really gets up to their potential of what they can actually accomplish. And it all boils down to not mastering yourself. And the main culprit of not mastering yourself, or your self-mastery getting hijacked, is self-sabotage. Now, if I have to compare self-sabotage to the charts, because there's always parallels between the charts and real life, I would call self-sabotage resistance. So if we're looking at a chart and there's a stock that's going up, and then it stops at a specific level and comes down. And then it tries to go up and it stops. And that happens 3 or 4 times. What do we call that? We call that a key resistance, a major resistance. That's a key level. A lot of us have developed key resistances in our lives in the form of self-sabotage, right? We start knocking on the door of where we want to go, where we want to be. We're actually close. We've done all the things. But when getting to that level of breaking into that part of life that is a little unfamiliar, like, oh my, I've never gotten to this point in my life. I've never gotten to this point in my fitness. I've never gotten to this point in my finances. We do something very weird and we act like resistance, and we send ourselves right back down. Right? We get up there, we knock on the door, we flirt with it, we doing everything, we're touching it. And then, we like, you know what? It's actually easier to go down instead of break through. So we just go down, and then at some point you realize, like, damn, but I don't like it down here. I feel depressed. Let me go back up. And we're constantly in this loop of getting back to where we were. You always hear people say, like, I gotta get back in the gym. Man, I gotta get back to it. We're always getting back. Another way of saying that we're always getting back is I consistently self-sabotage. We won't necessarily say it like that, right? Because it's hard to admit things about ourselves sometimes. But it's the self-sabotage that is ruining your trading. If you're watching this video and you've earned a decent amount in trading, and then you earn some more, and then you lost majority of it, if not all of it, you self-sabotaged in some way, right? Now there's different forms of self-sabotage, right? You could be a perfectionist, right? This is a person who is delaying things because they have this specific idea of how it's supposed to look, right? This is the person who is over practicing. This is the person who just this one more thing before I do that, right? Perfectionism is nothing but a glorified procrastination, right? Which brings me to the next one, is the procrastinator. It's the person that knows specifically what they need to do. And there's something in them. There's this feeling in them of, man, if I do these things, then what? I've been doing things half-assed for so long that I'm so accustomed to it that if I do them full speed, right, I do them to the best of my ability, damn, I kind of have to maintain that. We convince ourselves that maintaining our best is a bad thing, right? We start to create this weird script in our head, and a lot of times it's unconscious. You don't even realize that it's taking place, right? A lot of this stuff is rooted in your subconscious. That's why it's extremely important as you're going through this journey to start cleansing yourself, you know, from a dietary perspective, but also cleansing yourself in terms of the things that you're allowing in your space, right? There are a lot of things that people have said to us over our lives that still take up real estate in our mind, body, and soul, and we don't even realize it. We don't realize it, but we find ourselves in loops where that thing is the thing that we are relying on for our identity, and we never get the opportunity to break through it because we're not addressing the fact that those things really did hurt. Those things really did leave an imprint. Those things really did shape my identity, right? So we have to start being very conscious and asking ourselves deeper questions. You know what to do. If you're watching this video, I can almost guarantee that you know what to do to get ahead. You know what to do to better your own individual life. And you know that, but then there's the cognitive dissonance. You know it, but the behavior is not lining up with it. That can only be self-sabotage. So I need you to ask yourself, what is it about me that will not allow myself to break through the self-sabotage, break through the resistance? Am I afraid of something? Do I have some sort of belief that I do not deserve this next particular level? Am I afraid of the unknown? Have I allowed what people have said about success or about me in success literally shape how I see myself? Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to how you feel when you're getting close to something. It's almost like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, nah. You've been consistent on your diet. Then you go out, you go out and do something that completely turns it left. Like you go drinking. Now your appetite is, is high. And you don't really care. Your decision making is off. So now you're just eating whatever. And then now you've started it's okay to put this in my body. And then next thing you know, you do it for a few days afterwards, and then it becomes a habit, and then you get back into the cycle of trying to find your way back to what you know is the healthiest way of living. Same with trading, right? We all know that we need to keep a journal. We all know that we need to manage our risk. We all know that we need to be patient and see what the market is giving us. We all know that we need to follow smart money. We all know that we need to have some version of a stop loss, whether it's, manual, or in our head, right? We all know these things, but when it comes to implementing them on a consistent basis, a lot of times it's like right when you get to that level of getting through the next level that all of those things get abandoned, right? Some people call it like trying to get rich in one day. That's self-sabotage, because you know that it is much higher risk trying to get it all at one time. You know that. Rushing is self-sabotage. Anything that alters your nervous system, speeds it up, and takes you out of a state of balance and groundedness is self-sabotage. So I want you all to start just taking time each day and asking yourself tough questions. Reflect over the past 5-10 years. Look at your goals that you had for yourself. Look at the ones that were not hit and reflect on it. Like, what happened in this year? What did I do this year that took me off of this trajectory? What did I stop doing? What was I doing too much of? Right? It's super important to get these questions written down and answered. And I'm telling you, once you do that, you're going to start to say, okay, yeah, this is much bigger than the charts and trading. I got some shit lingering from childhood. I got some things lingering from something that somebody said to me in school. I got things lingering from things that my parents might have said, maybe in a joking way, but somehow it planted a seed that grew roots inside of me, and it's how I see the world from a very limited perspective, right? We are going into a new year. We're going into another opportunity to change. I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but life's not stopping. As a matter of fact, in this energy that we're in right now, the decisions you're making are actually more pronounced. So that self-sabotage, you're not going to get away with it as much anymore. The truth is the only thing that's going to be able to survive. So you got to get real with yourself and really start to, like I said, ask those difficult questions. I see so many of you all that have the potential to do so well. And like I said, I know it's a part of the journey, but I'm just trying to give you guys ways to start avoiding loops. I've been on so many loops in my life, which is why I can speak about it so specifically. And the thing that I was able to cut them and break out of them was by answering those questions. Not being afraid to sit with myself for extended periods of time, isolated. Being truthful, looking in the mirror, being like, damn, you did that, you didn't do that, you fucked that up, and just and not being critical of yourself, but being analytical and really like just taking an assessment of who you are and what behaviors you display, what your belief systems are. All right, that's all I got for you guys today, man. I just thought that it was necessary to talk about that. Again, we're in the fourth quarter, right? We're heading into a new year, and I just want you all to make sure that mindset is sound, right? You're grounded, rooted into who you are, and you are, essentially laying a foundation for you to be able to elevate into that next level without the resistance, right? And I'm not saying there won't be things that kind of like throw you off your square, but we want to be able to break through that resistance so that can now be the support, and we can start making new highs. You feel me? Listen, as always, invest smart, live free, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.